Hello everybody, I'm Raphael Perry and it's time for some more of the Oblivion remaster. Let's head into the market district. So in the last episode we escaped from the Imperial prison, and now we have a quest of the utmost importance bestowed upon us by the Emperor himself shortly before his assassination. Now, as you see here, we have a little jank due to my processor.
Children are starving.
But apart
Please
from that,
help.
the game seems to run perfectly. I played a little off camera. Occasionally when loading areas we get a little bit of that jankiness, but after that
have
it
pity,
seems to be
sir.
okay.
I got nothing to eat.
I did witness an interesting bug where I saw an Oblivion gate open before I'd gone anywhere near Kvatch, and that's supposed to be the first one. Let's head into the best defense. Our current goal is to lighten our load before we depart from town.
The best defense, that's me, Morrow Rufus. Light armor, the very best.
Recognizing so many characters already, by the way. I'm going to go for Persuasion. Now, there's a reason why I chose Persuade instead of Mercantile or whatever the merchandise skill is called. If I wanted to power game this playthrough, I would have gone for the buying and selling one. Instead I'm going for the one that influences NPCs. In each attempt to persuade, you must admire, boast, joke and coerce. Each of these actions raises or lowers the character's disposition. Do not take too long because the character's disposition is steadily falling. When you hover over each possible action, the character's face shows their reaction to it. It can be love, like, dislike, or hate. Their disposition increases if you select a loved or liked action, and decreases if you select a disliked or hated action.
Yep.
The potential gain or loss for each action is based on your speechcraft and how full the wedge is, meaning you want to fail on the one they hate. Try to select fuller wedges when they are aligned with actions the person likes. Try to select emptied wedges when they are aligned with actions he doesn't like.
Go ahead.
Now, if this were old school Oblivion, I think we'd be able to get previews here before beginning. Now we cannot, so... likes that one. Doesn't like this one, so...
Blah, blah, blah. That's great. You and the... Don't be silly.
There we go, we'll try again. Hates that one. So if we go...
That's really fun. You're full of... You and... Was that supposed to be a compliment?
Yeah, absolutely. We'll go one more time.
That's
bop,
great. You're full of
bop,
it. You
bop,
and the... Don't
bop.
be silly.
There we go. Excellent. And it's possible, unless you start going disastrously badly, to spam with an NPC constantly to increase your skill. And to the escape back here doesn't work.
I see.
We have to press it manually on the keyboard.
Have a look at my wares.
So he sells
Sure, there's
light
something to suit
armor. We have some items of light armor in excess that we do not intend to use. Let's flog off this.
You drive a hard bargain.
Let's avoid purchasing any of these for now, as we are massively overburdened.
Thank you for your patronage.
That's quite
You too.
alright.
I'm Bernardo. I handle the heavy armor at the best defense. I'm also an advanced trainer in heavy armor, so I know what I'm talking about.
Pretty sure that's the exact same voice files. Back in Morrowind and Oblivion, every single male Redguard had this voice.
Say what you're going to say.
28. Let's try and get on his good side. Okay. So we
You
want
think
that.
that's...
that,
Don't make... I
that,
won't. Really now. You're such a charmer. You're a big... You've got a... Really now. You think that's fun?
There we go. And once more.
You're...
Boop,
I
boop,
won't... Really
boop,
now.
boop.
That's just
There we
not
go.
funny.
We can go with that. It's fine.
May I interest you in some of my fine ware?
So he trades in heavy armor. Some of this... Look, there's a lot of pretty decent things here. For now, Nah. We can get slightly better than this rusty gear, but let's preserve our coins.
Be seeing you.
And there, I think, is possibly our first Be Seeing You of the series. That's got to be a nod to The Prisoner, in which all the NPCs in the village would say, "Be seeing you," instead of goodbye. And he would say it frequently as well. Of course, being The Prisoner was, "Be seeing you," with, like, lockjaw. "Be seeing you." "What do you want?" "Information." "You won't get it." I mean, actually it was, "Who is number 1? You are number 6. What do you want?" "Information. You won't get it." Ah!
Herbal grow Orkog knows you need axes and blunt weapons, big ones. So he makes them and sells them here. Slash and Smash, the big orc weapons shop. Big weapons for big heroes.
This sounds slightly like a downgrade. It's not the original voice for the orcs that sounded very similar to the Nords. Anyway, let's try cheer him up a bit and brighten up his day. Okay, what do you hate? That one. Okay, so we go whoom.
You can't scare. Oh, that don't make me laugh.
Right.
Is that so? I like you. You're a Oh, that's great. That's blah blah. Is that so? It's cool. I like that.
There we go.
A lot.
Excellent.
Excellent.
Excellent indeed. Right.
Can I
He
interest
sells
you in some of my wares?
axes and hammers and maces. Let's part with these 3 clubs because they're going to be
You got a great deal there.
weighing us down, and confirming every single transaction is going to
a good price for a good customer.
Be a little frustrating, but we'll work with it. Hold on to all those. He's got an iron helmet, non-rusty. What else? A leather shield. Don't worry, there's a shield shop we shall visit soon. In fact, why don't we go there now?
Come back and see me again.
Oh, I probably shall at some point. The market district in Imperial City is a good place to go and upgrade equipment over time. And Turion would do well to return here from time to time. The Mystic Emporium sells spells, I think potions, magical ingredients. There's also a shop across the road called Discount Spells, which sells very low-level basic spells, which would be good for starting to train a magic skill.
You've come to divine elegance because you care about what you wear. And Pelineria has what you want, or no one has.
She looks a bit like a wood elf. I seem to remember her being a high elf, though. Her facial features do support that ever so slightly more. There are some subtle differences.
All right.
However, can we be friends? You don't like that. That's great.
I won't fight you. You think that's funny? Gracious. That's just... I can't... Not now. That's... That's enough. Gracious.
Yeah, I used to have this wheel mastered. I'm not allowed to go any higher, apparently.
Have a look at my wares. I'm sure there's something to suit you.
Right, we'll trade these. Should have sold those at the last shop, but we didn't have an option. So let's just part with some of these. Look, she might be able to use them to line something, or... Look, we're down below 400. Isn't that nice? And she has some nice things here.
You too.
Useful for possibly enchanting practice later on. Wait, didn't we have a bolt of cloth? I'm not sure we could sell it to her. But that's okay. Look at that little butterfly flapping around. Are you in trouble there, sir? Don't mind me, I'll just stroll on past at a confident amble of one who is too heavily overburdened to go any swifter. Stone wall shields. Excellent. We should have some 2 or 3 shields to divest ourselves of at this point. And that shall lighten our load even further.
Stonewall shields. We specialize in shields. Viator Asius, your servant.
Yeah, the clue was in the name, man. Really great business name. Okay, so...
I like that. That's cute. It's good for you to say. I doubt it. You're too... I doubt it.
Ooh.
Where'd you get... Don't make me laugh.
Right.
You're too... I
Ooh,
doubt...
yes.
That's great. Talk tough to me. I love tough... I doubt... That's... Don't make...
Well,
it's good for you
we'll
to say
see.
so. I doubt... I like that... Don't make me... It's good for you to say so.
Wait. He hates this one?
What a... Thank you. That's really funny. I doubt it.
Right,
That's
that makes
cute.
more
Where'd
sense.
you get... I like you too. That's really funny. I doubt it. I like... Don't make me laugh. That's great. I doubt it. Don't make me... How nice.
Yeah. Here we go, that's nice.
I see.
I probably shouldn't be spamming persuasion too much this early on, but getting
Only
to level
quality
2 will
goods for
really
sale
help
here.
us.
What can I interest you in?
Right, well I can sell you this,
You got a great deal there.
and this. He has a non-rusty iron shield, and it would be nice to upgrade to that at some point. However, it would cost us a lot of money right around now. Don't have a design of that steel shield. Beautiful, but far beyond our price range. Well, off we go.
Come
We have
back and
business
see
to
me
do
again.
after all.
Bye.
And we should try and get some armor for our hands. While we stroll around the Imperial City, we will hear its inhabitants and denizens speaking about daily events or recent news that they are aware of. There is a newspaper called the Black Horse Courier, which everyone seems to buy and read. And they seem to know about things that have occurred before the Black Horse Courier has even had the chance to publish them yet. There's a degree of telepathy going on. But that's kind of... Look, it was nice in Oblivion to have NPCs be aware of things going on in the world. It was great that they were showing that off. Ah, a wood elf.
You're in Rindir's staffs, and I'm Rindir. I sell magical staffs. Imagine that.
Imagine that indeed. The
For you?
men of the wood elves
course.
are very short, the women are very tall. Whoa, you have reached the maximum disposition for this character. Okay. I'm not sure if that's based on my skills, or some characters just have a hard limit.
Can I interest you in some of my wares?
Well, I would like to keep this. I would like to use it. However, it does weigh 10 weight units, and would fetch me a decent price. So there we go.
You got a great deal there.
Thank you for your business.
You too.
I didn't sell everything in Slash and Smash, did I? I've got a load of axes here I
How
could
are
part
you?
with.
Okay, you? Fine. Good to hear. Good day. Be seeing you.
What a delightful exchange between two old dames. Well, you know what, Herbal Grow Okog, you did say you wanted to see me again? I believe the time is nigh. Let us return to grace your humble establishment with our presence. Only it's not that humble.
Herbal Grow Orkog knows you need axes and blunt weapons, big ones. So he makes them and sells them here. Slash and Smash, the big orc weapons shop. Big weapons for big heroes. What can I interest you in?
That's wonderful. Could I, you know... Yeah. There you go. Helmet may be nice. They do occasionally sell some things outside there. Ooh. I mean, 16 as opposed to... No, got to try to keep this number down.
I appreciate your business.
Be
Good.
seeing you.
Perhaps someday I will purchase a fine weapon from this establishment. For now, I'm just ripping you off. A little. Well, not really. He's the one ripping me off. He's giving me far below fair prices. But that's only to be expected. I mean, he's not going to make much selling those.
I'm listening. Please, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry, dear. I was already moving past you. Now, we shall be waylaid by various people with jobs, tasks, and duties for us. However, we should also bear in mind that we are on an important quest.
Goodbye.
One that is somewhat time sensitive. It's not, by the way. It's not even remotely time sensitive. Except it is. We need to get to Kvatch before we hit level 6. But we need to get there after we hit level 2. The closer to level 6, the better. If we go there at level 1, we will get absolutely murdered. If we arrive there at level 6, all of the Dremora that we would encounter will have been replaced by clan fears, which will be very, very extremely challenging for a level 6 character and basically way out of our capability.
Welcome to A Fighting Chance. I'm Rosan, proprietor. I sell the best swords in the city, and I offer advanced training for armorers.
You know, I think that is the original voice file too.
We'll see.
Well, Rosan, let's see if we can be friends. Okay.
Oh, don't waste. Really? You
duh.
can't scare me.
All
Not
right.
now. Oh, please. That's great. How's it going? Where'd you get that? Don't wait. You can't scare me.
Ooh, okay.
Where'd you get? Oh, please.
It's
Where'd you
all
get that? Oh,
about
don't wait.
minimizing the
Remarkable.
losses.
What? Not remark. Oh, please. Not now. Remarkable. That's really funny.
I'm glad you think so, lady.
Only quality goods for sale here.
And now for an
Can I
even
interest
bigger
you
joke.
in?
I want
That's
to
a
sell
fair
you all
deal.
these things.
That's more than I usually pay.
Now, the iron longsword may be better than the steel short sword, but it's heavier. We could also probably sell some of these arrows. Right, let's knock off about another... Yeah. There we go, we still got a decent amount. I notice the merchant gold amount doesn't seem to be changing at all. She's got a helmet. A steel helmet. Weight 6, weight 7. And it would give us a protective upgrade, but let's hold off for now.
Thank you. Come again. Farewell.
I probably will, milady. Now, see, our mercantile skill is improving. We're learning to look beyond the price of everything and the value of nothing. And yeah, that was a quote. Woo, you just phased in there.
Oh.
Everybody needs a copy of...
I think someone is watching me. I see figures in the shadows all the time. I know it's all in my head. I'm spending too much time on my latest project. But enough about me. What can I do for you?
Well, apart from being followed, what else have you noticed going on? What might distract you from that horrific concept?
The Mythic Dawn have been leaving notes in Talos Plaza. I hope no one believes their lies.
You know what? I hope no one believes their lies as well.
Farewell.
Go ahead, please.
From his voice alone, if not from his name, we know this to be a Nord.
This better be good.
We'll see.
How nice. Oh, talk. Oh, I doubt it.
Alright.
Blow away. Oh, I like that. A lot. I doubt it. Don't make. I doubt it. Oh, where'd you get that? That's cute. Oh, I like you too.
Well, let's try once more.
Oh, that's great. I doubt it. Oh, it's good. Blow away, windbag.
Ooh, okay.
Blow away, windbag. I doubt it. How nice. Say, that's really funny. Blow. Oh, oh, it's good of you to say so.
Bit better.
Oh, that's great. I doubt it. How nice. Don't make me laugh.
Looks like we may have maxed. Interesting. Well.
Have a look around. You won't find better prices in all Tamriel.
This Nord sells gems and jewelry. Let's treat him to the kind of things that would be of good use to his trade.
You've made a good bit of gold.
He's really in touch with the earth and the ground and mining.
A good price for a good customer. That's a fair deal.
Or he simply likes things that shine and glitter.
That's a good deal.
There we go.
Thank you. Come again. Bye.
Now we're just working that encumbrance value down to the point where we will be able to dash to the city gates and scurry off on our mission. The feed bag sells food. The horse's heads is there for the obvious reason in relation to the name, but it doesn't particularly sell horses food. It sells people food. I might as well have called it the trough and had a picture of a pig. Why, hello there, my lady.
Feel free to browse, friend. It's nice to see a new shopper. I was afraid I lost any hope of new business ever since Thorinir opened up.
Well, while that sounds interesting, let's talk about your wares.
This better be good.
Okay, so...
Remarkable. Don't. What a dumb joke.
Oh, really?
I wish I... That's just... Not now. Yes. Yes. Whatever... Sorry. What not... No more... Remarkable.
There we go.
Excellent.
Now let's buy and sell some things. Mostly
have
selling.
A look around. You won't find better prices in all Tamriel.
Right, take this off my hands, please.
A fine transaction.
Ooh, very nice. Guide to Anvil, maybe worth. We'll buy this repair hammer. Then we'll sell you some bones, which probably have some alchemical and decidedly unhealthy properties. We don't need this. We can part with that. Don't need those. All these. How are we doing? 160? We need to lose 10 more weight. We can sell these small cheese pasties we made. A load of rat meat. Sorry about that, lady. We, poison of illness on self. We don't want to drink poison and get ill. I think that's us done here.
Come back and see me again.
So let's ask you about Foreigner.
I think you might be just the kind of person we're looking for. Perhaps you can assist us with a problem we're having here in the Market District.
Well, it might take some time. Why don't you start from the beginning and explain your situation to me?
I'm the chairperson for the Society of Concerned Merchants. We formed this group a while back to keep a nice, fair economic balance in town. Not every store is a member, but we're slowly trying to convince them to join. Everything was fine until Thorinir opened his shop nearby. Selling all sorts of merchandise, he undercuts prices like you wouldn't believe. He doesn't always sell what we sell, but it is still a problem. People who buy tend to want to spend their money there. That leaves none for us. It's getting so bad a few of us may have to close up shop. He outright refuses to join the society or even discuss the matter. We are convinced he's up to no good. What we need is for you to case his establishment and figure out where he gets his inventory. Find some proof of his wrongdoing, and let us know. We cannot do it ourselves, as he recognizes all of us. The job pays a fair bounty in gold when he is brought to justice.
I mean, if he's selling things at a loss, he must be getting them very cheap to make any sort of profit at all. Sounds like he may be involved with the Thieves Guild.
His inventory must be stolen. It has to be. He prices less than it costs to make some of those things. Go see for yourself.
You know, given my impoverished state, I might just do that.
Thanks again for your help. We had no other place to turn.
Now, Now, she doesn't tell us where Foreigner's shop is, and many of the merchants in this part of town will mention Foreigner's shop and point towards the quest. I think she is the official quest giver, though.
What's the news from the other parts of town?
Now, we visited most of the locations here already. That would be the newspaper. I don't know if we can get a job as a reporter.
Take care. Take care.
But yes, the clamour and chatter of the crowds will occasionally drown out our thoughts as we meander through the city.
No one even knows who did it.
Apparently, no one has any idea who did it.
First edition sells books. The copious coin purse. That sounds like it may be Foreigner's establishment. This feels like a thieving quest, where we may have to sneak about and steal from him to learn what he's up to.
Welcome to the copious coin purse. What kind of deal can I make for you today?
He looks a little like a dark elf or wood elf. Foreigner is a name, probably more of a wood elf name. Dark elves have surnames. I'm not going to ask about any of his things. I'm just going to go straight to checking his prices.
What can I interest you in?
A less rude song. Less rude than what? Do you have any form of hand protection? Apparently not. Well, I'll be on my way.
Goodbye. Please come
Just
again.
a little light browsing. Now you'll notice some NPCs get the crown. I believe the crown is an essential NPC who can't be killed.
Oh. Hello. Rosan is a talented smith, one of the best around if you ask me.
Crabs not long
I've heard
ago.
him teach his skills
Annoying
for the right price.
creatures.
Disgusting creatures. I hope to never
I've
see
never
another.
shopped there, but I know she carries good alchemy.
Yes, let's hope to avoid mudcrabs for now.
Heard any news from the other provinces?
This is an interesting bug with this edition, where occasionally our equipped items disappear in the inventory. Like our shield, for instance. There we go. We could purchase some extreme lightweight hand protection.
Led a boycott of imperial goods.
That may or may not be a bad idea. It's almost better to whoops. That's me forgetting what the constant movement key is. Yes. Q is C, R is Q, F is R. Middle mouse button is F. Just sort of mentally relearning some of the controls from Skyrim, obviously, because they're so very similar. We're now heading to the Elven Gardens district. I don't remember very many fancy gardens here, but I do remember hotels, business establishments, hostels where we could rest. And we have a burning trail. A guard told me about, well, not a guard, some strange notes in the Imperial City's Talos Plaza. It seems to be related to the mythic dawn. I should go there and find one. I see. Now, I like to not rush in the city. I like to take my time, consider all the people I might meet and speak to. Luther Broad's boarding house. Well, let's speak to one of these individuals.
I hear they're always looking for recruits.
I'm Vantan Sintav. Castius, Baron, and me got this house from Uncle Inil. Nice, huh?
You got a house?
All right.
Nice. Let's practice being friendly.
That's enough. That's really funny. Oh, that... Blah, blah. You win. That's a bit excessive, don't you think?
Well, we can go with that.
The Emperor and his 3 sons dead right under the noses of the Imperial Guard. It's a disgrace.
We are going to notice a lot of the same voices.
What?
Are you the brother? You are.
I'm Baron. Castus, Vantan and me, we take care of gardens and trees and grass. Hard work, but it pays.
Well, good for you.
Go ahead. You're full of it. No more. No, not but. Sure, that's cute. You're Yes. Was that so? Sure, that's cute.
Let's try it once more.
You're No more. No, not but. That's pretty good. Blah, blah. Sure. Whatever you... That's a bit excessive, don't you think?
That's better. Just practicing our skills. So, Castus, huh? Would that be him over there?
What is it? Castus Sintav. Uncle Inil got us good jobs gardening. We're very grateful.
Oh, very nice for you.
Go ahead. You're wasting... My life is... Sure. Don't try to manipulate me. Not... What nonsense. I salute... Oh, please. Yeah, I get it. Don't waste. That's just... I salute you. Most impressive.
Excellent.
Be seeing you.
A skill that may aid us later on. Right, for now, I think we're wanting to head through this district to the city gates. And it's worth noting, if we open the map, we can zoom in. And that's how we get to the local map, by zooming in enough. We zoom out a lot. Fine. It's not like Skyrim where you have to press a separate button to bring up the local map. Now what does bother me is if I open any menu, such as the inventory or a map, pressing the same key will not close it. I need to press the escape key or tab to... tab? Yeah, tab. To close a menu. I'm not sure if it was that way in the original, but it does feel odd that you can't just, you know, press the same button you just pressed and instead have to move your fingers to another one. Also, of course, we have our wonderful third-person view, which doesn't go very far from a character. It zooms out a little more in combat. I'm not sure all these compass markers are entirely familiar. They feel very Skyrim. I'm not sure they were this way in the original game. Because all those icons are map markers from the world map. But getting the countdown in footsteps towards whatever location you may be pointing at, that does feel familiar, so maybe we did have a compass of sorts. I'm not seeing any posters yet beyond that one, which does not appear to be the kind we are looking for, but let's go take a look at it after speaking to this woman.
Well. You interested in acrobatics training? You'd be quite a challenge. I'm Ida Lenormand.
I probably would be quite a challenge.
We'll see.
Okay, I can't improve that at all.
Pay attention and you can learn a lot.
50 coins. We have 504. I think maybe we should. And perhaps we should do that again. Ooh, maybe we didn't...
I think we're in for some hard times. The death of Uriel Septim and his heirs changes everything.
It does indeed change a lot.
You too.
Now, we trained a miner's skill. That will help us in the long run. Wanted, the Grey Fox. Wanted for theft, embezzlement, forgery, pickpocketing, counterfeiting, burglary, conspiracy to commit theft, grand larceny, tax evasion, slander, fraud, perfidy, and impertinence. Description. Wears a grey cloak that conceals his appearance. Presumed male and Colovian. Height between 5 and 6 feet. Normal weight. Hair and eye colour unknown. You can literally see his eyes through the mask. Any citizen with information should contact the Imperial Watch. Watch Captain Hieronymus Lex. The escape key is required. We can't click the button. There are a lot of wanted posters for the Grey Fox around town. For now, though, let's just head towards the gates and make our way out of here. It would be nice to try and find one of those posters from a Mythic Dawn, but perhaps we shall do that at a later date. And it is with great sadness that I must now inform you that the dead body of the Imperial Legionnaire in full steel Imperial Legion armour that would be found 3 out of 4 playthroughs in Old Oblivion underneath the far end of the bridge there is not present in this version of the game. I created a separate character, went and checked, wasn't there for them, wasn't there for this one. It appears to have been fixed. Now, my overall impression is, I probably shouldn't run on such a steep slope, is that I don't know why it would happen, but I feel my impression was because there is a Legionnaire who rides back and forth, up and down and onto the bridge a little bit on his horse, is that somehow he would fall through the bridge and die, maybe drowning in the water, and then his body would be teleported to the beach to be washed up. Anyway, let's sprint for the extra experience, as this is quite a lengthy bridge. And we're headed for Way. Now the interesting thing is, outside of the established Imperial names, and there's that guard I spoke of, many of the names in the Empire for locations that had not been brought into existence in Daggerfall or Morrowind, for instance, seem to be very English. This is where the guard's body would be. It's interesting because I would find it almost every playthrough, and when I'd report this to other players, they would say they never saw this at all, or didn't know, were quite impressed that I knew this, or that they'd been unable to confirm or recreate it. It's like, it was there 3/4 of the time for me. Anyway, he doesn't seem to be here in this version of the game, and that is okay. We have the Warnet Inn. For now, though... Oh, the guard has a torch. The hour may be growing late. For now, we will head up towards Coral and the Weynon Priory. We shall not fast travel, because fast travel is cheating. It cheats us out of experience and encounters along the way. And the other thing is, if you always rely on fast travel and are ever deprived of it, for instance by being over encumbered, I've seen fast travel players lost, not knowing, trying to find their way around, blundering around, because they don't actually travel anywhere and just expect to teleport everywhere. They don't understand the intervening geography. Knowing your way around is fun and more interesting. We could go in there. There's a mini dungeon where we could fight and get some experience and possibly level. We're just going to continue on the mission for now. Let's just jog along. Keep going to Weynon Priory to deliver the Amulet of Kings. Yellow Tick Cave, possibly worth exploring at a later date. Not sure I've ever been in there. But we are drawing closer, all the same. So yeah, occasionally there would be an Oblivion gate here, like right at the start of the game. There should be no Oblivion gates in the world before we go to Kvatch. Whoop. Hey. Bit of a lag spike there, as our skill improved. But we're still managing to run the game on the recommended settings. What are you? You look like something that should taste our steel. Okay. We have gained a level. There we go. Let's heal up for what it's worth, for the experience. Now, leveling has changed ever so slightly in this version of the game, and I'll explain it when we do it, but it's not quite the same as it used to be. Let's keep our blade drawn. A dead goblin. Interesting. I think there may have been a treasure chest up here that required some leaping and jumping from the higher floor, I believe. Oh no! Not again! It's okay. We got a level to do. Can we? We can't put things in there. So, I think we have to go up to that floor and jump across to this one up here to get to the chest. Because the floor above has a shorter distance to go. I'm willing to hobble up these stairs and see what there may be up there. I don't think we can make the jump with this encumbrance, but we can at least scope it out for a future visit, just to check if my old memory is correct. Ah, one more. Okay, so what are we looking at here? This floor seems fairly complete in that we can walk... Yeah, we can just walk across to that bit. Ooh, is there something up there? Well, there's a chest over here. We should probably go look inside that one. And I will say that overall the difficulty of this version of the game seems slightly easier than what I'm used to from classic Oblivion. So it may have been something to jump across to at the top there. Hello? I hear someone fighting and some kind of wolf or hound. I'll just ready my blade in case there is danger. I should practice my jumping skill at some point, but maybe not quite. Okay, hang on. We cannot jump while over encumbered, okay. Hello?
Pay up or else.
No. Take it from me if you can.
We can play it that way if you like. Let's get this over with. Now you will know pain.
Okay. Oof. They do drop all their belongings on the ground, so it was a wolf. Okay. The wolf had a lockpick. I'm not sure how it was carrying that. If it was perhaps tangled in its fur. But for now, let's continue along the road. Now, Weynon Priory is... Ooh, our armor is damaged. Let's do something about that. Right, let's make some repairs. Now, what can we do? Just keep at it, and we'll buy some more hammers later on. We'll get better at mending our gear as time goes by. Also, please, game, remember what I am using. Now, it's only an inventory display bug. If I ready my weapons, then they will appear on my body. Now, the Odile farm is up ahead. That sounds like fight music. No, it's exploration music. I hope we don't trigger the infinite fight music bug, because that existed in old Oblivion back in the day. Exists in Skyrim. I think to fix it you have to fast travel or something horrible, or just load an older save, and you know, it's because once it infects a save, I'm not sure if the console commands work in this version. And in all honesty, they shouldn't really be used unless to fix something really bad. Yeah. Anyway, the Odile farm has a quest associated with it, which used to be how we would get the chill furrow short sword, a magical short sword that does cold damage. The goblins are attacking the farm, and the farmer wants us to help his 2 sons protect the farm. One of the sons is quite rash, they're both not particularly well equipped. And the reward for the quest used to depend on how many of the sons were still alive after the goblin assaults, and there were something like 6 goblins who'd come and attack, right? I tried it off camera with the other character, and something like 30 goblins turned up. So perhaps the rewards of the quest have changed if the results are so improbable now. You used to get a reward for defeating the goblins, a larger reward if one of the sons survived, and if both sons survived you'd get the magic sword. Now, I'm not sure both sons can survive. It seems so heavily rigged against them. Could be a bug. Could be something else, I don't know. Anyway, let's try and avoid that quest for now. Maybe take it on when we're a higher level, as the goblins may have limited scaling, right? Actually, they might just get replaced with more goblins at a higher level. Or more creatures, like... I don't think... No, the orcs are quite civilized and part of the Empire here. What was that? That sounded like a spellcasting sound. Specifically a summoning or conjuring one. I'm a little cautious because we are low level and at risk of perishing before our level increases. Now, we can approach the city and rest overnight, come to the Priory the following day, or approach the Priory during the hours of darkness when we are less likely to be observed doing so, then proceed to the city after. This is a high priority, top secret mission. I believe we shall visit the Priory at night. It's still going to take us a while to get there, as we trudge wearily along the road towards Coral. That looks like a location that's worth visiting. Now, there is a quest in Coral that I would like to pick up later on in the game and not this early. So I'm going to be a little bit cautious of dancing around certain NPCs. I think... Uh-oh. That was definitely a creature sound. And that sounded like a wolf's howl. We do want to be cautious. Perhaps we should indeed proceed directly to the Priory, as delivering the amulet is of the utmost importance. Also, we won't be carrying it, so it won't be weighing us down. Ah, so many memories. Mostly to do with how horrible the horse riding controls were. Yeah, deliver the amulet. Make this my active quest. Okay, sure. I mean, I thought it was anyway. We should probably pick some of these mushrooms. A crumbling mine. The way they lift slightly towards the top of the screen before vanishing is interesting. Let's head inside.
Excuse me, can I help you? Are you looking for Prior Maberel or Joffrey?
I'm here to see Joffrey.
I think he's sleeping, but it must be important. Go ahead upstairs and wake him.
Oh, the monks are so friendly. Is this Prior Maberel? It is indeed. Okay. White monk's robe. Let's not rob the monks. Joffrey does not appear to be sleeping. In fact, he appears to be very wide awake indeed. And not as well lit as he used to be.
I'm Brother Joffrey. What do you want?
Hello! There's a familiar voice. The Emperor sent me to find you.
Emperor Uriel? Do you know something about his death?
I was there when he died.
You'd better explain yourself. Now.
He gave me the Amulet of Kings.
You brought me the Amulet of Kings? This cannot be. Let me see it.
Here is the Amulet of Kings.
By the Nine! This is the Amulet of Kings.
Told you!
Who are you? How did you get this? What do you know of the Emperor's death?
He told me to seek out his last son and close shut the doors of oblivion.
As unlikely as your story sounds, I believe you. Only the strange destiny of Uriel Septim could have brought you to me carrying the Amulet of Kings.
Of course, there's no other possible solution. Who is the Prince of Destruction?
The Prince of Destruction he referred to is none other than Mehrunes Dagon, one of the lords of the demonic world of Oblivion. The Emperor's words, "Close shut the jaws of Oblivion," certainly suggest that he perceived some threat from Oblivion. But all the scholars agree that the mortal world is protected from the daedra of Oblivion by magical barriers.
How could Oblivion threaten us in that case?
I'm not sure. Only the Emperors truly understand the meaning behind the rituals of coronation. The Amulet of Kings is ancient. Saint Alicia herself received it from the gods. It is a holy relic of great power. When an emperor is crowned, he uses the amulet to light the dragon fires at the Temple of the One in the Imperial City. With the emperor dead and no new heir crowned, the dragon fires in the temple will be dark, for the first time in centuries. It may be that the dragon fires protected us from a threat that only the emperor was aware of.
I see. He asked me to find his son.
I am one of the few who know of his existence. Many years ago, I served as captain of Uriel's bodyguards, the Blades. One night, Uriel called me into his private chambers. A baby boy lay sleeping in a basket. Uriel told me to deliver him somewhere safe. He never told me anything else about the baby, but I knew it was his son. From time to time, he would ask about the child's progress. Now, it seems that this illegitimate son is the heir to the Septim throne, if he yet lives.
For some reason, this plotline, and some of the wording there, always reminds me of Shasta from The Horse and His Boy, the third book of the Chronicles of Narnia. You know, one of the 4 books that the Americans constantly ignore and pretend don't exist. Which is ironic, given you'd think that would be one of their favourites. Anyway, where can I find Uriel's son?
His name is Martin. He serves Akatosh in the chapel in the city of Kvatch, south of here. You must go to Kvatch and find him at once. If the enemy is aware of his existence, as seems likely, he is in terrible danger. And please, let me know if there's anything you need. My resources here are limited, but I will help in any way I can.
Of course. Let's speak of the Amulet of Kings.
It will be safest here with me. When you return with Martin, we will figure out our next move.
That seems very reasonable. Let's speak of Boris, the blade. Wait, no, let's talk about the blades in general.
Yes, Boris told you right. I am the Grand Master of the Blades. We serve the Emperor and the Septim bloodline. Talos is our patron. You wonder to find me here? Discretion is our watchword. Only a few of us have the honor to serve publicly in the Imperial Guard.
Let's speak of Boros. A loyal man.
One of the youngest blades ever to serve in the Emperor's personal guard. I am glad to hear that he survived, but I fear he will take the Emperor's death particularly hard.
Let's speak of the Dragonfires.
The coronation of each new Emperor is sealed when he uses the Amulet of Kings to light the Dragonfires in the Temple of the One. The Dragonfires of Akatosh remain lit until the death of the Emperor. His successor then lights them anew upon ascending to the throne. With Emperor Uriel dead and no successor crowned, the Temple of the One will be dark for the first time in centuries.
Are the flames automatically extinguished then when the Emperor dies? You mentioned Mehrunes Dagon.
The Daedra Prince of Destruction, an inveterate foe of all mortal races. He was involved with Jagar Tharn's plot against the Empire years ago.
Indeed he was.
Doesn't surprise me to find his hand in the current calamity.
And the Elder Council?
The Elder Council rules in the Emperor's absence by ancient tradition. Chancellor Akato heads the Elder Council and is the closest thing the Empire has to a leader right now. But the Blades answer only to the Emperor, of course. We are not an arm of the government.
So there is a contingency plan for this kind of situation. Let's speak of Martin then.
He is a priest in the chapel of Akatosh in Kvatch. He never knew that he was Uriel Septim's son. You need to find him at once and bring him safely back here.
Should I keep this information secret from him and for you to divulge, or should I inform him myself? By the way, you did offer some assistance.
I keep a few things here in my chest to resupply traveling blades. Help yourself to whatever you need.
That sounds like a grand idea. Why don't you take me to this chest? Oh, this chest. Let's see. Iron boots, iron cuirass, iron greaves. We probably need all of this, to be honest. And if we weren't over-encumbered before, we certainly shall be now. I seem to recall this is a secret door with a chamber behind it, where Joffrey keeps his equipment. Let's head into the town and find ourselves a bed for the night.
Please, by all means.
Have you seen the...
And let's hope we make it safely to the city gates. Yeah, I was going to say town, never mind. Right. We may be reaching a good episode length soon. At least narratively speaking. We'll also get to level up and change our equipment. I could do it here in the Priory. Instead, I shall re-equip at my place of rest. After resting, it will make the most sense. Yep, we see things slowly taking shape in the world around us. It's okay, it's a miracle I can run this game at all at the moment. Now, map. We need to travel from here down to Kvatch. The easiest way will be through Skingrad. Once in Skingrad, we shall probably be delayed by a side quest that will take 3 or 4 days. An individual will request that we take certain actions, which will improve one or more of our skills and help us gain an extra level, maybe. We're also going to struggle with brigands, bandits, ruffians, and wild animals along the way. Anything we can. We may be overburdened on the road, but by the time we get to Skingrad, which is a place that makes and sells wine, that is their speciality, we will be able to offload some of the things we have acquired along the way there. Skingrad does have a very fine armourers, and we can enjoy some decent protection once we get there. However, if we hold off on that and don't upgrade our armour, we may very well be able to pick up a full set of Imperial Legion steel plate once we get to Kvatch. There should be a few of them that are no longer in use, let's say. I'm not going to buy a horse. Now, I have said I don't like fast travel. Buying a horse, I would be totally fine with. That would be a much more acceptable form of fast travel. It's an in-game narrative action. It all, goes together and makes sense. We buy a horse, we ride the horse. However, I seem to recall that riding horse controls in this game originally were not very enjoyable. There have been certain modernizations taken, however, and if an improvement to horse riding is among them, maybe I shall enjoy taking to the saddle. We shall soon see. For now, obviously, we're entering into Coral, a much smaller city than the Imperial capital. It's also worth noting that the entire Imperial province, as depicted in this game, is smaller than the island of Morrowind, which lies, because Elder Scrolls III Morrowind, you don't play in the entire province of Morrowind, you play in a small island off the coast, which is larger than this game's version of the Imperial provinces, even though the Imperial provinces should be larger than the whole of Morrowind altogether. What have we here? The Oaken Crozier, sure. And we want to avoid visiting the general store in this town because the shopkeeper will try to give us a quest that we don't want to do just yet, and it wouldn't make much sense not to. Hello? Do we get an innkeeper at all? It would appear maybe not. The hour may just be too late. Oh, she's here. Allow me to disturb you, milady. I do apologize.
Welcome to the Oaken Crozier. This one is Talasma, your hostess. Our rooms and food are at your disposal.
Well, Talasma, allow me to
Yes.
apologize for waking you at this hour. Okay, I think that's the one she hates.
Yes, that's just real. What nonsense.
Nope. Okay.
Well, that's just... Don't talk. Yes, yes, whatever you say.
Well, I would like a room for the night. What little remains of it.
There's one available for the night if you're interested. It'll be 10 gold. What do you say?
That sounds perfectly acceptable.
The room is upstairs, first door to the left. Sleep
Oh,
well.
I recognise this dress. So many characters used to wear it back in the day.
Take care.
Both player and non-player characters, for that matter. Now, first on the left. We're not going to steal that. We are instead going to just go to our Betty Buys. Get some shut-eye. Here we are. Let's close the door, get a little privacy, and utilise the bed. No cursor keys on this one, and the arrows don't work, you just have to drag it. There we go. And now we should gain a level. You have ascended to level 2. You realise that all your life you have been coasting along as if you were in a dream. Suddenly, facing the trials of the last few days, you have come alive. Now, choose 3 attributes to increase, and we have 12 virtues left. A virtue is 1 point in an attribute. What used to happen is that we would choose 3 attributes to increase, and the amount by which they would increase would depend on the amount of skills related to that attribute that we had improved since our last level. Now, it appears to be more of an active build. So let's get a bit of strength, some endurance. And our agility is not that high. So we go agility, then take 2 of each. 3, 3, 4. 3, 4, 5. Do we like that? We can work with that. That works. There we are. And now our encumbrance has gone from 150 to 170. Let's look at the things we have picked up. First off, we can replace some of our iron equipment. Got some fur gauntlets we can wear until we can replace them with something better. Of our rusty iron shield, which we intend to replace. Our steel short sword, we have a steel war axe. Iron warhammer, steel claymore. We should probably sell some of these things, but we can't sell everything. A steel bow, much better than our rusty iron bow, and only weighs 2 more weight units. Well, let's head outside. Almost pressed C again for continual movement, which would have caused me to cast my equipped spell. I'm not sure I can take all these heavy weapons with me, for now. It's nice that they were given to me. However, the main thing I'm going to be doing is selling all that spare armour. You know, the rusty stuff. Now, I have noticed that third-person view does create a bit more lag, so I'm not going to be using it very often. Perhaps to show off some particularly fine articles of attire that I have acquired. I believe the old farmer is in there, waiting for us to come help him. I also believe we are not even remotely equipped to do so at the moment. Those dogs, they appear to be dogs. I don't remember as many dogs in this game originally. Oh wait, is she a character who likes to have lots of dogs and take them all for walks? I can't remember.
Hail!
What's new with you?
I have heard that the great houses of Morrowind are in upheaval. Indoril is in ruins, and Redoran is besieged by the Nords of Skyrim.
It is not surprising, considering Morrowind's violent past. We can only hope the troubles subside quickly.
Goodbye. I see you. Hello.
Why, hello, sir.
Hondatar is the name. I'm a hunter and mountain man.
Well.
All right.
We have mountains and high rock. Okay, so he doesn't like these two.
Don't waste your flat. You can't skip. Yeah, I get it.
Oh, wow, okay.
Don't waste your flattery on my life is You can't. Good one.
Right.
Don't talk such rot. You're wasting your breath. Not bad. That's amazing. What gracious. You can't. Yeah, I get it.
That works.
I lived in the Imperial City for a while, but city life just isn't for me. I'm much happier in Coral.
Good to hear it. Speaking of Coral, what do you know about the place?
The deer here are skittish. Need to get them quick, or they'll lead you a merry chase. Poison on your arrows can help, and it won't hurt the meat.
You'd really think it would.
You too.
Hello, I'm Rashida, the smith, and this is Fire and Steel. Quality armor and weapons, repairs too. What can I do for you?
Well, Rashida, it's a pleasure to meet you.
I'm listening.
Oh, she doesn't like those two. Okay, so.
Yeah, you're yes, whatever you say. You're I accept. That's pretty good.
Okay, we can take that.
That's
for
right.
now.
Exactly. Nice town, but you need money here to live well. Head out of town and do some hunting. Sell the skins, or you can loot old caves and ruins.
Sounds funky.
Have a look around. You won't find better prices in all Tamriel.
Okay, she sells weapons and armor. Rashida's special. Oh, strength and armor. Very expensive, mind. It looks like iron. Or, no, it looks like steel gauntlets. Well, let's start with weapons. We don't need this. We could probably get that
You
gone.
got a great deal there.
We do need to offload a lot of this, mind. Okay. These, I think, are from the bandit. These don't need to be kept.
An excellent bargain.
Might just have to sell my helmet. Let's see. Okay. I mean, 26 is a lot. If we want to upgrade our shield, 12, 12, that is an upgrade.
A fine bargain for you. That seems a fair price.
Iron Gauntlet, 6. I think we want to keep the weight a bit light. Obviously, I probably shouldn't have just picked all this stuff up. That is from the thief. We still need to ditch about 57, which would probably be both of those and something else. It's steel arrows. Okay, let's sell off some of these. And maybe just walk slowly back to the Imperial City, right? We might pick up a level along the way. Okay, what if we sell off these and wear those? Mix and match a bit, right? That'd lose us 14. We're able to lose 24. 26. No, 22. Huh. We just need a bit more experience, really. We could sell this. And use the axe instead. These don't amount to very much. I could have just not bought this and kept with a two-handed weapon instead. You know what, that would help lighten our load significantly. So I'll sell this. That would take me down to 205. I'd still have to get rid of like 45. Ugh. It would be nice to go sell some of these things, but we can't really visit the other merchant in town. Let's sell these. She might find a use for them.
A fine transaction.
Lining armor or something. I think we're just walking back to the Imperial City to sell off some of this stuff. If only because the local merchant is somewhat out of bounds for now. So if I sell that, that's down to 203. 9, 27, 37, 39. This is starting to make a scary amount of sense. We're looking to get rid of 45, so that would come really close. And then we could sell all of these. Well, let's do that anyway, right? Now we didn't buy these here, did we? Did we? Not sure. So let's see. We'd go down to the Iron Cuirass, Leather Greaves, Leather Boots. So it'd sell 19, 27, 39. Okay, and we'd be in business for a while. Then we'd get over encumbered again very soon. I think we just bought this shield here, so we shouldn't sell that. I think we'll just be over encumbered for a bit on the road. And go make a long trudge towards the Imperial City. You know what? Let's just sell her some of these things.
You drive a hard bargain. An excellent bargain.
Generally, I like to sell things to the appropriate
You drive
merchants.
a hard bargain.
Okay, so now we're only looking to get rid of 24. That'd be 16 of it. 10, so we'd need to ditch another 14 from here. Oh, our beloved new shield. We could swap to leather body armor. I don't know. Not sure I feel comfortable selling off this precious equipment of the Order, which is meant to be... Look, I wasn't supposed to take it to sell it, I was supposed to take it to use it. And so use it I should.
Tell your friends about me. Be seeing you.
Right, let's get out of here. And you know what? Let's even meander back along the road a little as well, while we're at it. Yeah, we're over encumbered, but we can plot and plan ahead. So, we do want to be improving our skills. Could talk to this chap. Let's not chase people who are moving more quickly than us. That simply won't do at all. The thing is, if I do walk to the Imperial City, here's what I should do. I should say, look, Raph, you got yourself a mortar and pestle. Health, fatigue, agility, disease, fatigue. Okay, we could do some damage, health poison, but we could also go restore magic. Ooh, so cheese and mushrooms. Okay, well, cheesy mushrooms. Let's make some. Nope. Let's see. Health, fatigue, agility, disease, magicka. Okay. Petty poison. Let's hope that we can learn from this and make better things in the future. Also, let's hope we've reduced our encumbrance somewhat from that experimentation with the failures. And now we have things that we can sell in the shops. Alright, you know what? Let's head back to the Imperial City, see if we can lighten our load. You know what? There is that inn by the bridge back to the Imperial City where we can probably sell off some of the potions we made. That's great. Not that the potions are likely to be extremely heavy, but we are level 2 now after all, and are likely to need to be at least level 3 before we can... I think we can't ride a horse while encumbered. So let's not even attempt to do so. Now, it's worth noting, and I may have mentioned this before, how European and medieval this armour looks for most of the Imperial Guards and soldiers during this era. Earlier, in Morrowind, all the Imperials, especially those associated with the East Empire Company, are dressed in a very Roman manner. Now, back in Daggerfall, the second Elder Scrolls game, the Imperials did not dress like Romans. They all had Roman names. They had no voices, because there was like virtually no voiceover. And all of the NPCs basically wore the same clothes. However, here, in Oblivion, they no longer dress like Romans. They dress like medieval Europeans, as if time has marched on and they have improved their lot in life. Then we get the Elder Scrolls Volume R, Redguard, in which the Imperials look like they're wearing golden conquistador armour and wielding sabres to match. And then in Skyrim they go back, they regress to their Roman origins again, but they're wearing armour that looks like it was made by the local Nord smiths. So it's got that sort of crude iron feel to it. And then I believe in Elder Scrolls Online they leaned heavily into the Imperial aspect of the Romans, the Roman aspect of the Imperials once again, which is fine. It's interesting that they deviated from that in this game, and what's even more interesting is the members of the Imperial Legion do have classical Greco-Roman elements to their armour designs. And I don't just mean the red crests on some of their helmets, right? The helms they wear are a bit like a barbute, but also a bit like a hoplite's helm, right? So we do get some interesting elements of a cultural heritage and cultural progression changing over time. Which is why it then becomes interesting that they regress back again to the more popular designs when they go to Skyrim some 5 to 8 centuries later. I'm sure there was a good reason, perhaps a sort of Imperial classical revival movement. But it does tell a nice story. And okay, we are not going down that way, even though that looks like a road we should travel. This is indeed the one we intend to follow. And yes, we have massively over-encumbered ourselves with an excess of equipment. I do intend to at least try it all out at some point before parting from it. And there is definitely some kind of statue on top of that mountain. Over there, behind the trees to the left. We'll look at it in a moment, once it becomes more visible again. Unfortunately, Odile Farm will have to wait for now. There we go. Ah, it looks like a tower. Probably a wizard's tower. Someone very impressive lives there. Actually, I think it's a tower we can inherit and possess. Possibly as part of a Mages Guild storyline. This person is running towards us. Why would that be? Uh-oh. Oh, hey. I'm supposed to be using my new shield.
Do your work.
You absolute bitch. I don't know what I ever did to you apart from exist. But you and your summoned daedric axe can fuck off and die. There we go. And now we are even more heavily encumbered. For whatever reason, he took umbrage at my existence. Presumably he thought he could rob me. Now, this chap had a Fortify Fatigue tome. Do you want to add Fortify Fatigue to your spell list? Absolutely. It's a novice novice restoration spell. Can we cast novice restoration spells? We can cast novice and apprentice restoration spells. Excellent. I'm not sure fortifying our fatigue would be very helpful unless we get into a big fight. I don't think it's going to. I think we'd want alteration magic to improve our carry load. Let's pop our sword away and continue on our journey. Now we have additional items that we can sell. We are likely to be over encumbered, I would say, for a good reason, a good portion of the journey to Skingrad, unless I can find a solution. Now, you know what, I did say I wanted to try out some of these items, and improving our... Let's go for the claymore. There we go. Improving our light armor skills is probably a good idea. Same with our 200 weapon skills, purely because if we attempt to utilize a 200 weapon later on, our skill will be laughably low and we will suffer. We don't need to develop it in full parity with our other combat skills. And we don't need to develop skills anymore like we would in Oblivion to focus on an ability score and say, oh, we want to improve this ability this level, so we should focus on skills related to this ability. And skills which happen to be class major skills as opposed to minor skills would count more towards the stat increases. And in fact, only the major skills would count towards the level up. The minor skills wouldn't count towards the level up at all, but they would count towards the stat increases. Now, let's continue, just keep on the road for now, because if we stray from the path, we may head off into danger. We will absolutely be straying from the path later on, when we have a few more levels and are not so overburdened. But for now, we're just focusing on getting to the Warnet Inn to sell off some of our cheap-ass little potions that we made. And if we get to practice using our two-handed sword and light armor along the way there, that will be excellent. And I don't mean excellent in a Bill and Ted kind of way. One of the 3 films I've seen Keanu Reeves in, the other 2 being Speed and Johnny Mnemonic. I honestly haven't seen him in anything else. I know everyone raves about some of his later stuff, but I just haven't seen it. And the thing is, I've seen him in, you know, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, in which he was whichever one of Bill and Ted he was, you know, the one who wasn't the other one. Then I saw him in Speed, which was a sort of understated, more calm well, not calm, but, you know, it wasn't a very... No, you know, he did a good performance, but still it wasn't the most impressive role. Then I saw him in Johnny Mnemonic, where he was basically just, again, a fairly understated role. Years later, when I mentioned not having seen him in anything else, and, you know, not having seen the greatest acting from him yet, I was told that he's not really a very good actor, he's just good at standing still, looking cool, and looking attractive. Apparently he's done some great acting in later things, and he's done some stuff with guns, where he plays a character named after an American games designer. Literally, there's like one letter difference. There is an American game designer called John Wick, who wrote loads of games, made loads of role-playing games, and the film is just his name with the E missing from the end of the surname. That's it. Doesn't exactly inspire me when, you know, the name of the character is the same as the name of the film. Haven't seen it. Apparently it's really popular and there's a dog and people love the dog because people like dogs, apparently. What is that? It looks like it's going to move and come towards me. Indeed, that would appear to be the case. And we have the massive steel claymore quillons. What the fuck is that? Is that a horse behind a tree? It's a man on a horse. Okay. Not a foe. Let's just walk on by, and maybe he will forget we drew our sword and waved it at him in a threatening manner. Look, we were just excited to show it off. This was given to us by a very important person with the intent that we make use of it, and we should use each of these pieces of equipment at least once before parting with it, because they are here to aid us on our quest, our mission, our journey. And so we continue down this path. I mean, what are we at? 196, so only 16 to go. I mean, the potions we made are going to be way more than that. Those wheels of cheese, though, weigh 3 each, so that would get rid of 9. Blue suede shoes, 11. So we can... Oh yeah, 1 each for those. There we go. Excellent, so we got it sorted. I mean, we'll have to ditch a little bit more than that, because we may be at some decimal point over the limit. But we can see the bridge of the Imperial City in the distance, towards which we intend to trudge and tread wearily until we make our arrival there. And you know what? That's all well and good. So while we amble in that direction, why don't we natter a little bit more? If you've been enjoying this episode so far, why don't you share some of your favourite stories and memories from the original Oblivion down in the comments section with me? You know, you can chat about how you, became Master of the Dark Brotherhood or met the Grey Fox or something. Try to avoid, this isn't about me wanting spoilers and advice telling me what to do. Goodness, no, I've done so many things in this game over the years. This is about a bit of nostalgia, a bit of fond remembrance, right? Yeah, don't go massively telling me how to do things, like you should do this, you should do that. But you can be like, hey, I remember the fun time when... Oh, that reminds me of that that 3-part story in South Park about how some shit thing called what was it, American Dad or King of the Hill or something, or some crap cartoon is really bad and is just a bunch of cutaway jokes. If you know it, you know what I mean. And honestly, if it's as bad as it looked on South Park, and in all fairness, they were attacking it and going for it, so it might not be that bad. They may be exaggerating how bad it is, but if it is like that, I'm glad I've never watched it. I've watched that god-awful Cleveland show that was a spin-off from it, apparently. Yeah, that was let's call it late night filler when I was sleepless and there wasn't much else on the telly. It was not good. Not good at all. But apparently it wasn't as bad as the thing it originally spawned from. So in a way it might have been like Frasier, which came of course from Cheers originally. As Frasier was just a kind of side character who'd come into the bar and drink a bit sometime and talk to people, and then he got his own series about him being a pretentious, arrogant so-and-so who would give other people advice on how to handle their psychological problems, but would have loads of his own. With his brother, who was also a psychologist, and yeah. Well, that's carried us down to these ruins. I'm not going to go in there and fight stuff. Not yet, anyway. Maybe later on. For now, obviously, I am on a mission to get to Kvatch, and Skingrad will be our most direct route there. I do like all the nice flowers and the colour. I do, however, remember how the colours were ever so much more bright and vibrant in the original Oblivion. You know, the sky was a brighter blue, the water was a brighter blue, the grass a brighter green. It very much was almost a sort of psychedelic bright colour palette. Here we have a more muted experience. The colours are not quite as extreme, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. Some people have complained it's a very brown game. No, Skyrim is a very brown game. There's brown rocks, brown dirt, brown leather, brown skin, brown hair, brown fur, lots of brown. Even the metal is like discoloured and rusty and brownish sometimes, you know. It's a very brown experience. I wonder if being level 2 will have improved the inventories in the Imperial City, in the shops. I'm not sure it massively will, because I can't remember how often the shops will restock. In Skyrim, it's like every 48 hours. Hello?
What?
Well, Orcish lady, you've got a massive double chin. I can't even... Oh, I can.
Say what you're going to say.
Well, what do you... Okay, you don't like those, so...
Sorry,
Oop.
I don't get... What a
Oop.
great... Don't talk such... Whatever you want.
Okay.
Don't try to... I accept... What a... Sorry, I don't get it. What a... Don't try to manipulate. Well done. Yes,
Okay.
whatever you say.
I'll try once more.
That's... What nonsense. I wish I could say that. No more. You're frightening me. Don't try to... I wish I could... That's just... I accept.
There we go.
I have no choice.
True.
There were lights spotted at Sundercliff Watch. That place was cursed by Mehrunes Dagon himself. Oh, best not to go there.
I don't know where that is.
Bye.
But it's not Fort Nickel, so that's fine. And we're nearly at the Warnet Inn. How delightful. There we shall sell off some of our burden, but we probably will have to go back to the Imperial Marketplace to get rid of some of the rest. It's not an entirely bad idea. We might be able to sell off some of our alchemical supplies as well, some of the more unhealthy ones. It would be interesting if at some point we develop our alchemy skill to the level where we can see the second property of ingredients. I think we can still create potions with more, and discover more properties that way. But having the skill to let us know would be really helpful. Because currently, let's see, skill, alchemy, recognize the first 2 properties of ingredients and have a chance to craft an additional potion. So yeah, 25, that's a way off, obviously. Okay, well, let's see what we can sell in the pub. And at the moment, we've used our heavy armor, we've used our short sword and shield. We want to practice with that axe. We got a nice steel bow we haven't used yet, but it's nicer than the old iron one we have. And in all honesty, the idea of a bow made of metal is quite laughable. Unless it's some kind of giant crossbow or something. Yeah, some sort of piece of siege artillery. Because a bow needs to bend, not just be hinged. In fact, you could suggest that the person who might suggest a bow made out of metal would be particularly unhinged to have come up with such a concept in the first place. Yeah, I probably didn't need to emphasise unhinged quite so much there. I'm sure you all would have picked up on it without the additional emphasis. I mean, this hamlet is just like one house and a pub, and the pub has a separate name. This way, it's just one building. Did it even need a map marker? Perhaps it did. For now, though, let us visit this fine establishment and sell them our shit. Looks like a high elf lady and a soldier on his break.
So, what brings you here today?
Oh, goodness.
Welcome to the Walnut Inn. Could I interest you in a room or perhaps a bit of wine?
True original Oblivion horseface elf proportions. Blah. Right.
We'll see.
We shall indeed. You don't like
I doubt
that,
it.
which is
how
fine.
Where'd you get that? That's good.
Okay.
That's... I doubt I like you too. I doubt it. I like you. That's cute. That's great. How's it go again?
Oh, well. Let me tell you. In the meantime, however, I want to get rid of some of this stuff. Look. I probably shouldn't sell you these. It'd be bad for your customers. However... Where's my cheesy mushrooms? Yeah. And you know what? You can have some big wheels of cheese. Apparently, some people like cheese and wine together. Also, I heard a sound. I need to step away for one moment. And back again. Right. I'm not going to sell you this because it'd be bad for business. You know what, though? Yes. What do I have here that is heavy? Ooh. Huh, disbelief. Interesting. Well, okay, we've lightened our load significantly. And actually, restore fatigue. We could be onto something here. Ah, the Surly Brothers wine. Tamika sounds familiar as well. Probably all from Skingrad. I want to sell things, but I know we're going to really need a lot of them at some point. I want to sell these 10 healing potions to reduce the weight by 5. But I could just drink them as and when I need them.
Come back and see me again. Have a fine journey and keep yourself safe.
Oh, I'll do my best, lady. Now, what can we... Ah, shoes. We can sell shoes. Right. What else? I still have this. I still have this. meaning I can sell that as well. I see. Interesting. In that case, I might as well head into the city now, rather than doing so at the beginning of the next episode. Should I? Should I not? I don't know. I mean, I think I just want to go do stuff, you know. You know what? We might even find one of those notices, those letters from the Mythic Dawn cult. Not letters, posters, pamphlets, leaflets. I'm not going to go massively out of my way to search. But it would be nice. The lake around the Imperial City reflects the sky beautifully. I know there's a quest to swim around and kill 5 slaughterfish in the lake, and interesting actually, because back in Old Oblivion, of course, with mods, you could create custom races, and if you created a custom race with a height below 80%, say if you're trying to make a dwarf race or a goblin or gnome or something, you couldn't swim. Because for whatever reason, the character's center of gravity, or their waist, was set a specific distance beneath the surface of the water when swimming. Characters above 80%, or 90%, I think it was 80%, kept their head above the water and could swim, so that would be like Wood Elf Men, the shortest, you know. But anything smaller than that, and you would be constantly drowning during swimming, so you would need to basically swim very short distances, make it up onto land, attack the fish. It made that quest very difficult to complete, and there is a dungeon somewhere in the game that is heavily flooded with specific air pockets, and there's one dungeon that you go to as part of a dream sequence that is completely underwater, and you have to do the whole thing before you drown, and I think there's no time for any wrong turns in that one. Now, it's an avoidable quest, it's not a main storyline quest from what I remember, but it is still a pretty rough experience. Speaking of rough experiences, trudging along at this slow and steady pace has got to be one of them. At some point, we shall improve our carrying capacity and lighten our load. Maybe we should check out the discount spell shop to see if we can begin training magic skills to later on learn feather spells to lighten our load. I think we can also do it with potions. I'm not sure we can enchant magic items to do that the same way we could in Skyrim. In fact, I think we need to be a member of the Mages Guild to enchant things, but like in Morrowind and Daggerfall, Oblivion does still have the custom spell creation system, which was so sadly lacking in Skyrim. One really nice thing about Oblivion, though, is that there are no cliff races and no dragons, so we don't have to constantly be looking up at... Whoa. What was that? Was it maybe a horse whinnying? Sounded like something growl or snarl. But we don't have to be constantly watching the skies for nuisance creatures that lock us in combat, when all we're trying to do is cross the road. We'll head into the Talos Plaza, and I will turn left instead of straight ahead, taking that side path towards the Elven Garden District. We will that way cover a little more ground in our search for these pamphlets. Now it's going to take us a bit more experience before we level, and when we do, that'll be great. I think we do definitely want to be lightening our load before we get to Skingrad, though.
Evening.
Good evening indeed, law-abiding Khajiit. If you're wondering why the Khajiits have such a bad reputation in Skyrim, it's probably because of all the Khajiit brigands and bandits that existed in Oblivion. I mean, they were a bit of an oppressed minority in Morrowind as well, because the Imperials and the Dark Elves considered the Khajiits and Argonians to be inferior species and treated them very badly. I'm not seeing any of these posters, by the way. Speaking of which, we could just go like that and go bunk. We could even go bunk. Really? We're not in the Plaza District. Okay, in the City Arboretum. That doesn't make sense. Wait, unfriendly competition? Hang on. There we go. Right. Yeah. Right there. Well, we can head that way on our way back out of the city, can't we? There's no burning need right now. And given the lateness of the hour, we should probably also find ourselves somewhere to stay for the night. I believe there's a nice place in the next area. No, I'm good. In the Elven Garden District. Don't mind us, just passing through. There's a nice little establishment just there, where we intend to rest our weary bones. Now, in the Merchants District, there is a spot where, at night, one or two of the beggars will go and sleep. It's a good place to practice your sneak skills late at night. To just go stand near the sleeping beggars and pretend you're sleeping.
Goodbye. All of the Bella's priests and priestesses murdered.
Everyone's out here chatting.
How can I help you?
Who would murder those lovely ladies?
I heard she was climbing up the chapel just so she could jump off.
She likes jumping off things. That's because she's an idiot.
I've heard others say
she trained me a bit in the skill of acrobatics. I also think she was standing right there next to them while they were slagging her off. Hello! Oh.
Luther Broad's boarding house. I'm Luther. You want beds or food? See me.
I want a bed.
If you've got 10 gold, I've got a room for the night. Deal?
Sounds like a deal.
The room's up the stairs, and it'll be the first door on your left.
Excellent.
Farewell.
Same as the other place. Now, where are the stairs? Over here. Okay. Like the painting on the walls. Very old school. Well, this is the first door on the left. I presume this isn't it. I presume this is it. What a beautifully appointed chamber. Got a nice, colourful bed sheet. Let's hop in and get about 10 hours sleep. That'd be nice, right? We won't get a level this time, but we'll get to go and sell our stuff in the morning. Hooray! Another... That's somewhere in the city, isn't it? I think it's in the opposite side of the city to the one we're currently on. Of course, it's worth mentioning the city is divided into 6 quarters, as in districts, all roughly equally sized around a central hub with the Royal Palace in the middle. Currently, we're only really visiting 3 of the districts. The other 3 we'll probably visit at a later date. For now, though, it's all about lightening our load and working towards the next level. So strength gives us carry weight. We will want to look into that.
Citizen?
We might have to put a lot in strength. Endurance helps us stay alive. Might even be worth putting a point or 2 into luck over time as well. Seems a bit dark here in the shadow of the wall. The sun must be shining from the east. Ah, of course. And we're on the western side of the wall. That would explain it then. This early in the morning it would. Absolutely. Now, do we have... Okay, we have garments, trousers, a robe, outfit, shoes. We'll sell all these at the tailor's. And I did say I'd like to try out the discount spell shop, see what I could pick up there. Well, hello again, lady. If I actually bought anything, you could call me a returning customer. But at the moment, it's not about what you can do for me, it's what I can do for you.
What can I do for you?
Behold these...
May I interest you in some of my fine wares?
Meager offerings.
You've made a good bit of gold.
Actually.
You drive a hard bargain.
We've done very well there.
Come back and see me again.
Perhaps I shall, although...
You too.
In all honesty, when it comes to adventuring equipment, this is not one of the shops I should be visiting the most. So, if I just go and sell the short sword and keep the axe, that should do it straight away, right? I mean, I'd be better selling off the axe, almost. But the axe may improve in quality over time. As in, it may scale better with the skill. What else do we have? Oh! Spell! Right, yes. Hello. You must be Edgar.
Edgar Vautrin. You don't want the very best. You want cheap. And I got cheap.
And it's that voice.
All right.
All right. Don't like that one, okay.
I doubt it. No more. Don't try to... Sure, that's cute.
Okay, about where we left
I doubt
off.
it. Sure, that's cute. Yes, don't waste your flattery on me.
I won't.
I doubt it. Sure, that's... Don't waste... No more. You're frightening me.
Alright, sorry about that.
Only quality goods for sale here. What can I interest you in?
Mysticism. Okay, so... He said cheap. Major wound, no. Oh, it's not absorb, it's drain. Ease burden. Your skill is too low. Alteration. So we want alteration spells. What have you got? A low-level protection spell. Excellent. We should utilize it in battle. Illusion. Okay. Absorb skill mercantile. Could we go around casting that on merchants before we trade
Another
them?
satisfied customer.
That sounds
Farewell.
illegal. Let us prepare that spell so that we can practice it in harmful situations. Now, what can we sell apart from that sword that would help lighten our load? I'm not sure there's a lot we could. Oh, we do want to sell this. Rindir's staves, maybe? Or we can just go straight into first edition and try there. That's probably not a bad idea. Let's do that. Nice to see the members of the City Watch still out and about doing their duty. The Legion are patrolling the streets. The place remains fairly lawful in the absence of a ruling emperor. Let's hope it stays that way for quite some time. Wait, why are the doors locked from the outside?
I'm Phintius, owner and proprietor of the first edition. Look around. If I don't have it, maybe I can get it.
Perhaps you can.
Make
you know
it
what?
quick.
Okay.
What a great story. Where'd you get that? Is that not now, not later? Don't try to Oh, please. I wish I... Where'd you get that? That's good. Where'd you... Don't talk. Well done. You're wasting your breath. That's just talk. Oh, that's great. That's really too much. Really? Don't talk such rot. Don't talk such... Well done. Oh, please.
You know what? That'll do. Right.
Everyone's talking about the assassination, of course. Here, take my copy of the new Black Horse Courier. Go ahead, keep it.
Oh no, it's heavy.
Let's do business.
Let's sell this. Excellent.
Come back and see me again. Good day.
Oh, he sounded a little bit condescending there on good day, a bit dismissive. The Black Horse Courier, Special Edition. Emperor and heirs assassinated. Elder Council named as regents. Emperor, I wonder if one of the members of the council is behind this daedric cult. Because then he would have power ruling over the kingdom. Not necessarily because he wants the power to rule, but because it would help the cult achieve its goals. Emperor Uriel Septim VII is dead at the age of 87, having ruled Tamriel for 65 years. He was killed by assassins unknown. At the same time, in separate locations, the late Emperor's three sons and heirs, Crown Prince Geldel, 56, Prince Enman, 55, and Prince Ebel, 53, were slain by other assassins. An investigation into the identity and motives of the assassins is underway. But the Elder Council, Imperial Guard, and Blades Guard have forbidden the publication of reports and rumours concerning the event until further notice, so what's this then? By ancient precedent, the Elder Council rules the Empire until a new Emperor is crowned. No direct heirs survive, and the Council has proposed no list of candidates. Chancellor Akato, Imperial Battle Mage, speaking for the Elder Council, presented an appeal to the Empire's citizens for calm, and asked that the people remember the Emperor, his sons, and the Elder Council in their prayers. Emperor Uriel's early reign was marked by peace and prosperity. The Empress Corla Voria bore him 3 healthy sons, was a loving companion to the Emperor, and a great favourite of the people. However, the Emperor and the Empire suffered terribly during the Imperial Simulacrum, 3rd Era 389 to 399, when he was held captive in Oblivion while the usurper Jagar Tharn assumed his appearance and ruled in his stead. Emperor Uriel was finally rescued and restored, and the impostor defeated by the agency of the sorceress Rhea Silmain and her shadowy protege, the main character of Daggerfall, But the affairs of the Empire were in great disorder, and Empress Corla Voria, exhausted by her ordeal, withdrew from public life. The decades following the Restoration were once again peaceful and prosperous, but increasing political tensions among the petty states of northwest Tamriel finally erupted in the Wars of the Iliac Bays, resulting in the establishment of the modern borders of Daggerfall, Sentinel, Wayrest, and Orsinium, and culminating in the remarkable events associated with the Warp in the West. The Warp in the West relates to the fact that Daggerfall had 3 different endings that were all kind of mutually exclusive, and due to some really bizarre demonic magic, all 3 happened simultaneously, didn't interrupt with each other, and then the world sort of continued afterwards. As if one of them had happened and the other 2 hadn't, even though they also did. And people remember all 3. The latter years of the Emperor's reign have seen a flourishing of imperial influence in the provinces, and the fortunate resolution of the religious wars and the Vardenfell crisis, and with the wise and firm guidance of King Helseth and his mother, Queen Barenziah, an extension of high imperial culture even into the more remote parts of Morrowind. The Vardenfell crisis. Vardenfell was the island we played on in Morrowind, and that's referring to the previous game in the series. The Emperor's murder and the murder of his 3 sons is a terrible crime and a great tragedy for the Empire. Battle Mage Akato assures us that all the resources of the Elder Council, the Legions, the Guard, the Arcane University, and the Imperial Battle College are being employed to bring the assassins to justice. But in the meantime, the greatest tribute we citizens can offer to the memory of our beloved Emperor is to go earnestly and diligently about our daily affairs, honouring the life of the great Empire he loved so much and served so faithfully for so long. There we have it. The shop is in a terrible state of disarray. Let's not pick up any of the books to try and put them on the shelves, or we might get arrested. It's obviously a game physics overreacting thing, but it is what it is. All the same. You know what? If the axe is better than the sword, we might as well keep it and ditch the sword. We'll probably get some kind of replacement later on anyway. And we can just consider it a temporary upgrade for our mission. Alright, here we are again.
Good day.
Good day, Uro-san. Nice to meet you again.
I offer the finest goods and lowest prices in all Cyrodiil.
Was this in the chest? Perhaps. There we go. It's not much, but it's something.
Thank you for your business.
Alright, well I imagine
Take
we
care.
better be on our way. Woo! It's like we're flying. Maybe visit the general shop again if we've got... Let's see. We could sell off this. Or give it away, rather. No, we might as well just make our way back out of town.
I understand money is tight.
Have ourselves a nice little jog as we do so.
Like a bad idea.
Seems to me some things
So, while it's been a bit of a tedious and lengthy visit to the Imperial City, it's not going to be entirely without merit. We've lightened our load and we're going to go pick up a vital clue for some kind of investigation upon our way out of here.
How goes it?
It goes in the direction of the city gates at great pace.
It's you. Hi. Good morning. What's going on with you?
You have my ear, citizen.
Interestingly, we can't sprint on continuous movement. We need... Pressing the sprint button when continuously moving just stops us dead in our tracks.
It's you. Hi.
Hello? Looks like an Imperial name. Nothing wrong with that. Now...
You have my ear, citizen.
Somewhere over here... It's not there, is it? It is there. You walk the path of the new dawn. You would destroy the Septim's spawns. Liberated from your chains, follow us to herald his reign. The first you hold within your hands. On to the next one we command. Rhyming hand with command there really badly. Wolf's father, lord of the hunt. Our lord's dominion he'd confront. His wolf's gaze you will follow. Behind a tree the next will be. So, a statue of a wolf. Mentioned that it speaks about the Lord of the Hunt. Lord Hircine's shrine. Hircine is one of the Daedric princes, not one of the 9 divines, isn't he? Well, having picked that up, we could really... Where the hell is the game telling us to go now? Well, it doesn't matter because we're leaving the Imperial City. Because we need to go to Kvatch. It's going to be a lengthy journey, and one that will lead us through no small amount of peril.
You have my ear, citizen.
However, it will also be a worthwhile endeavour, for without us, the Empire may suffer indeed greatly. Let's dangerously run down this very steep hill, like a backwards Kate Bush, because apparently that song that I didn't even know existed till everyone started going on about it very recently is far more popular than the only song of hers I ever knew existed, about Heathcliff and Cathy and Wuthering Heights. But very repetitive song. Anyway, whoa. What happened there? It looked as if something massive flew over the water. And its reflection was... I imagine it was just like a reflection of the trees going away as we descended or something, but hey, let's put on a burst of speed. I'm tempted to check under the bridge again, in case the dead soldier is there, but I don't think he will be. I think they've fixed that bug for now. I also don't think it was anything to do with a mod. There we go, we've finished sprinting. It would appear that the cult wants me to explore, you know, some kind of paper chase, right? To... Oh. Maybe I should be up there on that high path instead. Looks like I'll be able to take the low road and cross over at some point. So let's just continue along this one. You know what? Hell, I'm still playing. I didn't finish up earlier when I thought I might. Perhaps this will help us spy any dangers on the road by gazing down upon them. So let's take this path after all. Here we go. Let's hope this bridge is not too unstable. In fact, it seems pretty sturdy so far. That's great. Fort Virtue, I believe, is a ruin occupied by monsters and other hazardous foes.
You have my ear, citizen.
And you have the safety of the road, which I appreciate. Our athletic skill is improving, and we should also practice jumping. We're heading towards Skingrad, so we want to be going this way. What is that? Just a stick. Ooh, lag. Maybe I should save the game in case anything really bad happens. And maybe even stop playing. Save one. Here we go. Excellent. You know, we do need time for all these areas to load as we speed through them. It's also worth noting when we get to Skingrad. The first time I completed this game, in fact the only time I completed this game, I experienced survivor guilt for the only time in my life. And I felt so bad that I walked all the way from the Imperial City to Skingrad. And I walked into the house that I'd purchased in Skingrad, and I sat down on a chair or bench, and I sat there for 24 in-game hours before I finally saved the game and closed it all down. But it took me that long to, and I do mean I walked, I didn't run or ride anything, I walked slowly. Right, it took me that long to emotionally get over the ending of the game. If you have experienced the ending of the game, you will know that now there's usually some kind of, around level 6 or 7 or 8, it's more, I don't like the blur there of the sword on quick turning. Doesn't really happen on attacks. That's fine. I believe on the right, as we approach Skingrad, or actually after Skingrad on the right, on the way to Thatch, there is a... Oh no, it's one of those imps. I think... Right. There absolutely is another one. I had a horrible feeling the imps were going to require magic weapons. And what I should have done... spells. Let's practice our healing spell. And I should have absolutely practiced our protection spell. I'll do that next time we face some kind of foes that aren't trying to blast me with lightning. Inside the cave, I think there are more imps and other foes. We shall not be entering into here today. Greenmead Cave, but I am checking the name. And continuing on my... Oh god. It's okay, it's a friendly man on a horse. I thought he was a bad man who was trying to kill me. I will not mess with his kill, but rather continue on my way. I see another imp. Well then, spell time. Let's get that alteration practice in. Okay, excellent stuff. We probably really do want to check how to hotkey things at some point. Okay, wait a minute, there's another one. Let's get him while our spell is up so that we can't justify casting it again. You are a pain in the arse to hit with spells or ranged weapons, so I'm hitting you close up. This definitely feels easier than old school Oblivion. Grey Rock Cave. Seems again like a potential place of great danger. Once we reach Skingrad, I will probably stop short of entering the city, and that will almost definitely be the episode end, because entering Skingrad will trigger an event either shortly before I pass through the city gates or shortly afterwards. If you played this game before, you know what I mean. And it can lead to 3 days of sneak skill training. Days. Yeah, that'll be fun to watch, won't it? I'm sure I'll keep it entertaining somehow. Alright. And we're in our light armour, so we're better equipped for stealth. In fact, maybe that's why we'll give the impression that we might be good at it. But hey, we're getting very close to the city entrance. There's something up on those ridges there, isn't there? Some kind of sub-objective and derelict mine. I think that's the mine occupied by goblins. A whole mine full of goblins. Lots of... What is this? A graveyard. That's what. Okay. How do we get into the city? Is it going to be this way or that way? I think this is the path. I should have probably looked closer from my high vantage point, and I may very well be wrong. But no, I think this is it, and we come in on this side. Blood Trust Cavern cannot be a very healthy place. Hello?
How are you? What can I do for you?
Well, Undena Orefi, what do you know?
Battlehorn Castle near Coral is besieged by marauders. I wish I could go and save them.
Interesting.
Yes?
You know what, let's have a little chat. Okay, looks like that's the one
Yes,
you hate.
yes. That's a bit don't make me laugh.
Yep, yes it is. Okay.
Yeah. No more. You're frightening me. I'm not buying. You're pathetic.
Right.
You're Yeah, I accept. I have. That's a bit
Perfect.
excessive, don't you think?
No, I can take it. There we go.
That's very
right.
good.
Well, goodbye, lady.
Bye.
And I believe this is the path towards the city gates. Although they... No, because this bridge goes up and I think the gates are under.
You have my ear, citizen.
Down this way. The western gate of Skindred... West? West? West would be on that side, surely. Okay, no, it should... So I think the east gate is up on the ledge above us and somewhere down here. So do we come in through the west gate and then there's like a bridge across or something weird? I know it's an interesting city in two halves. I should probably... East gate is just fine. Stop out here and prepare to enter the city proper. I am definitely going to end this episode here. I hope you've all enjoyed that one. And I'll look forward to seeing you all in the very next episode, even if I did drag this one out a bit. I'll say goodbye for now though, and cheerio everyone. See you all soon.